Hello, friends and lovers. Welcome back to Hades 2. It's time for Aspect of Nyx. I'm actually kind of concerned about this run, actually, now that I think about it. So you're kind of incentivized, you use this Omega Boosty thing, and then you start spamming out, like, attacks or specials. Probably just attacks for the most part. And you kind of just pray. So you gotta stay close, huh? With our fear setup here, it's actually gonna be spicy. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Forgive me, my voice is probably off. I am a little ill. Mostly just in the nasal capacity here. I am very congested, pretty much. I got tickles in my nose, constantly running, dripping down my face, etc., etc. I don't know if I really want to get into a lot of specials. It just feels like you might as well take Smoldering, which accomplishes the same thing, right? That's the way I'm looking at this, at least. That's the way I'm feeling. Maybe it could be just like a Scorch run, per chance. Now, Nexus Rush actually pairs quite well when you think about this, right? Since we're gonna want to be just running into enemies and such. Her attack, I don't know if I'm as convinced by her attack. I'd rather have an on-hit effect or something. Or I could just get nothing. That's also a keen possibility. It seems like a bridal glow situation to me. Nothing frustrates me more than the game offering me to swap the one boon I have in my possession. Why would you do that to me? Well, that's a lot more Scorch now. So maybe it could be a Scorch run. Scorch-related run, at least, to some degree. Some more Heste would be nice. More Hero would be good. Zeus always not too bad, I would say. Let's see if we can get Nexus Rush offered. At least we got some decent gods, although not going to get carried by Hef like I think our last Nyx run did. But we got just like a bunch of solid Hef boons right at the start of the run. We got Unseen Ire. I'm probably in the minority in the sense that I don't know if I actually love just sending all the enemies to Pound Town as much as other people do. Just pounding it up. Just holding down the attack button or mashing the attack button, whichever way you want to achieve that effect. I don't know if it's actually as interesting for me personally. So Zeus's attack, huh? Yeah. Maybe. I'm trying to think of the duos around like Scorch and stuff. And Zeus do Begotten one. Trying to make use of Nexus Rush and everything. Run away. Oh, that was close. Ah. We'll be fine. I haven't been sick in a while. I'm kind of lucky like that nowadays, at least. Special does a bit more. What if I just hold down the special button instead after running into an enemy? Even Lightning Lance is actually pretty solid here. Give me the special. I mean, 60 more blitz damage is kind of just a lot in my mind. Now, there's an issue here. And we've encountered this before. We've discussed it before to some degree, too, I should say. Which is that even if you get more special speed, you can't actually, sadly, increase the rate at which you fire off the special missiles. It seems to me you cannot fire them any faster. Like, it's just not plausible. Heaven Flourish is now on top here. Which is kind of too bad, right? Whee! It's kind of too bad. Heaven Flourish, then the Blitz. I'm not going to be using Omegas, really, right? I don't think so. Besides the boost. Da boost. I mean, cardio gain it does work. I guess I'm just not in that big of a rush, I would think, for magic regen. Magic regen? 3 chambers left. I want the max health. Do I want to take Medea? So remember, special speed, useless. Do I want Apollo that much? Boost the gain does serve. I am more than willing to admit I'm a bit of a baby when I get sick. It just like I think death is coming basically. And wife is very caring, but like I'm not hamming it up on purpose per se, but I feel like I can feel that wife gets concerned because I just can't be bothered to like respond when my nose is too stuffed up or something. It's like, are you feeling okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Meanwhile, she's got like tendinitis in 4 places and a sinus infection. She just acts totally normal. Far more stoic than I am. I think I'm just gonna take the max magic here. As a kid, I'm sure, well, maybe not all of us. Some of us. Apollo's got fire, huh? What are the other duos I'm thinking of here? Not much. Apollo, no, maybe? Definitely don't need the max magic. Particularly with the Medea's thing there now, which I guess I should have done earlier, but oh well. Okay, so I don't want to spend... I'm reminding myself here what I do and don't want. Whee! This is kind of fun. Aye. Except for when I gotta do a run around there. The special's actually doing quite a bit per chamber here, huh? Yeah, Nitro Boost works pretty well for us, I think. Might end up being another slow cooker run. It's not my fault, though. Not my fault. Not at all. When I was a kid, I wished I was sick all the time. Because I didn't want to go to school. Hated it. Couldn't stand it, I tell you. Probably not more Scorch for the time being. Ooh, so we could do... No, I could not do. We already have Origination in a few ways. I definitely don't want that swap. Sweet lord. Well, Arctic Gale is really the only takeable boon there. I'm gonna skip the max health. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. I always wish I was sick. And then I would get sick. Inevitably at some point, right? And I'd be like, damn, I wish I wasn't sick. Because it turns out being sick sucks, right? And then when you're an adult, there's really no, like, upside, you know? Anymore. Hey, wow. Because it feels like calling out sick of work. It's not the same, right? It's not the same. It doesn't feel as good. Like, you're possibly just letting work pile up for you. Although it's not your fault at the end of the day, right? Because, let's face it, these companies, they don't really give a shit. They're just going to let it pile up while you're not there. Tell you to handle it when you get back. Or they're going to complain that you're not showing up to work. They're going to test you. Like, did you go to a doctor? Can you get a no? It's just like, no. I'm sick. People get sick. It happens, like, constantly. Like, all the time. You know? Can you show up anyway? Can you do a half day? No. No. No, I can't. Okay? I don't want to. Nobody wants this, except for you. I don't necessarily blame the middle managers, to be clear. I was in the middle management position, but I blame these big corpo companies that run skeleton crews for pretty much every place ever. So when one person calls out sick, there's like no support system for it. And everyone's just left sucking a dick or something like that, you know? Get a little heated up out here. I gotta say, the regular special is kind of... The damage is looking pretty saucy. Slow cooker sounding kind of tasty now. I wonder... I didn't look that hard for Polyphemus when I probably should have, right? All right, buffs off. Now we run into something else if I can. I missed. But Blitz isn't the best for this, right? Like something like the... I think I'm going to Artificer that. Damn it. Well then. I guess something like Splash would have been more interesting. But no. Although, again, watching the damage numbers, maybe like Apollo special wouldn't be bad. That's something I can assure you I have not tried. But sometimes this DPS meter can kind of give you an idea or two, right? Agreed? Like, oh, well, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I got XYZ. I assumed it would be bad. No. Scorch on top. What do you got now? Born Again, huh? Well, I don't love these. I kind of feel like we're not going to need that much magic, so I'm going to take Hereditary Pain. I don't think I'm going to rarefy it, though. I don't think so. It seems like against the big enemies, the Scorch and the Blitz is doing a little bit better. But if we're just picking off a bunch of little fellas, the simple special is doing the job. I guess we'll take Hermes now. Don't fall for it. I think, do I have to have my regular discussion about Nimble Limbs as a boon? It's very inconsistent. I don't have the time or the knowledge to be able to explain when it works and when it doesn't. It just really, really depends on many a thing. I already have a decent amount of cash. Travel Deal is money. Not going to rarefy Travel Deal. I don't think the rarity helps that much. Not really interested in the attack there. Not really so interested in Thunder Rush. Not really so interested in Power Surge. Now, I did get Demeter, so I think I want to leave the attack open. So basically, in case we can get the big freezer burn, you know what I mean? So I guess I'm stuck taking Power Surge here. Someday I'll rarefy a boon. You wait and see. Travel Deal rarity doesn't do much. It's like 5% bigger discount per rarity. It's not worth it. It's a good boon, but the rarities aren't a big deal. Cersei. Cersei. Mercy. What do you got for me, sweetie? Definitely not the morph. Probably just gonna be this bad boy. Get rid of a vow, huh? I always think about that one. Never take it. Not at once. Whoop. Worst sick I've been. Yeah, it was a bad case of hummus, basically. I was making dinner, snacking on some hummus, and I don't know what I was eating the hummus with. Crackers or something, I'm gonna guess. Store brand, I think it was like Sabra brand. So like one of those kind of cheapo hummuses, I'll admit, you know. Definitely not the fancy pantsy stuff, to say the least. Snacking on some hummus, making dinner, and as time went on, I was just like, something feels incredibly wrong right now. And I'm gonna say 20 minutes go by, and luckily I was able to finish dinner, and then wife gets home, and as soon as she walks in the door, I'm like, I'm going to go to bed. And she's like, oh, okay. She said with several concerns, you know. It's gonna be shimmering, I think. Bouncy rockets. That night was probably one of the worst nights, at least in terms of how I felt. Without getting too explicit on the details. No, I was in and out of the bathroom with the shivers. Emptying both ends of myself, basically. Simultaneously. Oh, man. Terrible. Terrible. Cardio gain. I don't really spend enough magic for this to ever really make sense, huh? Well, I guess you can take cardio gain first, which is weird. I don't rarefy it. Maybe we could get incandescent aura later. Guess I'll expedite that to get something else here. It was brutal. Never ate hummus again. I actually kind of slightly exaggerating, but also slightly not exaggerating. I'm kind of scared of hummus now. Yo! Hell yeah. Well, that happened easily. Without paying attention also. What do we get? We got air quality. Water fitness. Not bad. Slow cooker. Let's go. Martial fart. Well, I only got one rock, but I'll take it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's actually kind of interesting to swap here. Is it better? No blitz, though. It's kind of overkill. If we ever got freezer burn, I'm trying to think here. Doesn't really feel totally worth it. I definitely don't rarefy highly flammable, I don't think. I'm not going to use controlled burn. I couldn't get the Hestia boon I actually want to get offered, right? Which would be Pyrotechnique, which is kind of too bad, to say the least. Well, nut. What can you do? Now, if they offered me to swap the special for a percentage boon, I might actually consider it the given slow cooker right now, right? I don't know where Hef's been in our recent runs, huh? He's abandoned us. Blitz actually on the top for the moment. Please hit one of those things. any of them. Come on, lady. I got another semi-gross story. I'll try not to be, I'll try to be a bit candid with the details if it helps. And it's actually easily the last time I had what I would describe as too much to drink. And this was, God, 12 years ago, I'm going to say. Because I learned my lesson after this night, basically. Strap in, because it's quite the story. I went to a friend's house in the city of Boston. Apartment, I should say. He shared this apartment with, God, I don't know, 8 other people. A lot of people living there. It's the city, you know? We're all poor 20-something-year-olds. You know how it goes. One sec. Steve's coming. Forgive me if that was loud. My apologies. Oh. Okay, hold on. Money? Money. Do I want money? Hammer funnier? With travel deal, money seems better. Now, I tend to have a hard time deciding when to use the roguelikes, though, I'll admit. But we have water fitness now, so I might not need to use the max health so much. Demeter's attack, maybe? Once again, I don't think I rarefy it. I really don't. Water fitness goes up. You can't... I'm just going to recycle the hex, actually, which is better than the other option. Don't worry, Zag's keepsake will do something. If I ever find pyrotechnique, you wait and see. Why aren't you dying? I was visiting a friend who lives in the city. I made a friend at the party whose name was... Let's call him John Paul, which may or may not have been his real name. Moon? Gold. We do want the hammer, though. I had brought my own bottle of New Amsterdam gin to the party to drink and to partially share with others. John Paul seemed quite interested in this, perhaps too interested in it. I don't remember much about John Paul. Other than he seemed to, you know, we seemed to hit it off somehow, in some way. Sudden salvo, no. Ooh, Ripper rockets, let's go. Ripper rockets, do it again. Moon, gold. JP and I, we hit it off. We were having a good time. I remember he's saying, let's drink some of that gin. I was like, okay, let me get some glasses from the kitchen. Or some, like, shot glasses or something. He's like, let's just drink from the bottle. I said, all right. That was my first and largest mistake of the evening, as one can imagine. Because I think that was probably the last sentence I thoroughly remember from that evening, if I were to guess. I remember being approached in the kitchen by a roommate or someone who lived at the apartment, basically showing a lot of concern for my well-being, but I don't really know why. I also have a vague memory of watching John Paul take a box fan that did not belong to him, it belonged to the residents of the apartment, and smashing it on the ground by the cord. And I just cackled like a fiend. But at the same time, I had this weird moment of lucidity where I was just like, I shouldn't be laughing at this right now. I shouldn't be laughing at this right now. And I kind of tried to stop myself and may have fallen over in the process of doing so. Not sure, though. Bit late for steady growth. I'll just take the water boon kind of now. Or, well, the fire boon. The fire boon? Maybe. We already have a lot of money. Hey, buddy. Tipsy shot? Yo! I like tipsy shot. 750, baby. Something worth rarefying, finally. I don't know if I really need these. That is a lot of damage, to be clear. Don't be surprised if tipsy shot shows up on the mirrors very quickly now. I don't remember much else of the evening. But apparently, I had locked myself into the one bathroom shared by, you know, the 8-ish people that lived there. Not to mention the extra 10 people that were there just for the party. I locked myself into the one bathroom that was available. And was having a tough time is how I would describe it. From both sides. Now, luckily or not, there was a litter box within the bathroom. So thus, while sitting on the toilet and getting sick, and feeling sick in the other way, you know, I was able to, you know, puke my brains out into the litter box. Obviously, I felt terrible for the situation, but my state of being was not well. And I'm not here to blame John Paul, but I can't help but wonder if this man was sent possibly from the future to sabotage me in some shape or form. I just can't help but wonder. Oh, I do want more Hestia. We did get a juicy pyrotechnique finally. But we have so much money. And we have travel deal, right? Not to mention the specials kind of popped off here. Quite a bit. Well, let's get a lot more boons by going this way. Ooh, Static Shock is actually decent. I like. Don't worry, air quality is now active as well. It actually does probably help a little bit with Static Shock, right? Wait, huh? Wait, what is air quality? Hold on, is it 20 damage or 50? Tis 50. Tis 50. Okay, right. You wouldn't want to palm it. Frosty Veneer is on right away. All right, sure. I think it's safe to say I can buy that max health as well. I can still recycle something else. Okay, I want to make it clear. Before y'all take to the keyboards, you know, this was not a common thing for me, you know. I am a lightweight, and I usually knew my limit, but a moment of weakness, you know, came over me, I guess you could say. I wasn't some deadbeat. Well, I mean, I was to some degree, but not in the way that you're probably thinking right now. I would like to think. I felt terrible. So what happened is one of the roommates got me out of the bathroom somehow and basically had to nurse me back to health upon the couch and saying, you need to drink this, you need to do that. I'm just like, oh, yeah. You know, I'm zombified and such like that. Watch out. Oh, he's already dead. Hell yeah. Boink. Throw out the specials, baby. Ow. Where are you? Boink. How dare you? You dead yet? Hello? Heaven flourished on top. Wow. Wow. The power is actually doing quite well with this, I gotta say. I'm a little surprised. I have to do the weird grip on it so I can hold down the dash button while also holding down the special button. I gotta do the funky grip here. What do you think, Rando Hammer? Rando Hammer, you say? Rando Hammer. Rando Hammer. Exhaust Riser. Yeah, not gonna... Yeah, now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have done that. More Hera. I was gonna say, proper upbringing is actually not bad, but extended fam, it's fire, and it helps with blitz damage, helps with scorch damage, helps with static shock damage. Well, static shock, I guess, wouldn't matter anymore, but proper upbringing would hit the dash, static shock, which doesn't matter with air quality so much, right? It's kind of tough. I think that's the thing to do, though.
Delivery coming soon.
You can purchase all that. Someone had to nurse me back to health. And luckily, my friend drove me home at like 7 o'clock in the morning. After sleeping on the couch, best I could. Before I had to face what happened. Oh, man. I never went back, ever again. I'm still a friend. I still have the friends, right? I never saw John Paul again. I could never face going back to that apartment. I did tell my friend to please apologize very thoroughly for me. I will buy them a new litter box if they so choose, you know. I appreciate its service and things like that. Of course, I heard, like, nothing back in regards to the matter, as one could imagine. Boing. Tipsy shot, go! Hell yeah. Oh yeah, extended family buffs tipsy shot too. Let's go. Let's go. Heaven flourish. Blitz and scorch. Purge it? Nah. Keep it. Perhaps a proper upbringing. Ooh, cherish heirloom. No, cherish heirloom. Unfortunately, not useful now. Okay. I don't recover much magic is the problem, right? Because I only use 30 on occasion. So basically, well, how often am I really gonna do it? I think proper upbringing makes slightly more sense then. Huh? Oh, I only have 1 rock still? You made me miss some gold. I just assumed I'd have it. How dare you? That was at least 12 years ago. I mean, I don't even drink anymore now. But that was like the last time I drank more than like a beer. It was that rough. I tell you, it was that rough. I have no interest in trying to build up my tolerance either. I can assure you of that. Never have I. And never will I. All right. Send it back, baby. Oh. 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 Melt it. Melt it. Melt it. Come on. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, baby. This actually went very smooth. I'm always scared of this aspect a little bit. Maybe the specials are the way. I can purge the max magic. Well, I don't think it'll matter, so I guess I will. That's interesting, huh? Potty potty. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. 390 max health. We certainly have plenty of cash. Okay, I'm a little concerned about that anvil, though. I need some rock out here. Fine line just to get another rock. Yeah, I mean, the other two aren't great anyway, so sure. More Hera. More Hera the dog that bit ya. Uncommon Grace is fire. Lovely. No fire. Don't really need more wind. Cherish Heirloom does nothing, though, in the meantime. I don't know. Rousing Reception, I guess. I think I'm pretty happy with our ham-hams. So I think that's a pass on that. 13 fire. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. It's pretty good, huh? Proper upbringing hit quite a few things in reality, too, huh? And it unlocks being able to get Uncommon Grace. It is kind of too bad I only wound up with 2 rock, though. It's a pretty smooth build, though. I always fear trying to go for the plain attack stuff here. I fear it for some reason. Same, I kind of fear doing with the dagger, too, because it never feels like it actually goes to where I'm hoping, I guess, is how I would describe it. Okay. Whoa. Boing. Okay, start sending 5260 what? 5260 what? Stop doing that move, bro. 5260 what? What was that from? I'm not even sure. It's already over. Is that from like a crazy tipsy shot or something? Let's resend that. Oh my god, why you love the tongue move so much today, sweetie? Boing. Oh. 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 Tongue move, worst move. It's a good thing we didn't swap the blitz, I think we can say, right? When it's second on the meters, I think it was wise. I think it was wise. Is there anything that I'm kind of surprised at how low it is here? No, not really. I guess I'm a little surprised the Scorch isn't a little higher. We're probably not actually applying enough Scorch when we have a juicy technique, if I were to guess. So maybe you could say swapping out the special into Scorch, maybe it would have been worth it. Please, bro. Maybe it would have been worth it. But the regular special, which is what Heaven Flourish is there, it's topping the meters. I told you, Tipsy shot one boon. Popping. Absolutely popping there. I think it's typically worth it if you can pick it up, even at the lowest rarity. Anything with a very high base damage like that is just super sexy. Super sexy, right? Special, top of the meter. Blitz, second. Scorch, third. Cast was there, but yeah, since it comes so late, it makes sense. The Omega Boost was actually higher than I would have guessed, too. I don't even know what to highlight here, because we had a lot of cool stuff, huh? Kind of a special spam thing. Altogether, I mean, served quite the purpose, really, right? When you think about it. Hand of Hera. Because all of these infusions popped off pretty strongly. Except for martial art, I guess you could say. I guess air quality wasn't probably super impressive. Where is Slow Cooker, though? Is that on page 2? It would appear to be on page 2. Damn it, I can't highlight it at the same time. Can I highlight it? No. I want it to be on this page. Boo. I had too many boons. Wow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 infusions. That's crazy. And they all were working. Although something like martial art, not too much avail, I guess we could say. That was still cool. That was a fun run. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what I usually ask for. Appreciate it. I'll see ya in another video.